I would argue obesity is a symptom of metabolic dysfunction.
Mm.
So obesity can cause metabolic dysfunction on its own. Again, if you take a rat and overfeed it or feed it a really toxic diet, it will become obese, and that will result in all sorts of metabolic problems. But I would actually argue some of the ingredients in that toxic diet are poisoning metabolism. And that is probably playing a role in the obesity. Like most people think of obesity as a simple problem. It's, oh, everybody's just overeating tasty food. They're all gluttons. That's what it's all about. They're just lazy slobs. They're just overeating tasty food. But in fact, if you look at the research studies, like there was a study that just came out a few months ago that looked at the amount of calories consumed by the average American in the 1970s. And they did it by analyzing the entire food supply. Like how much food is Kellogg's and General Mills and all of these different food companies, how much are they selling to the American public? Divide that by the number of human beings in America, and you can come up with this is how many calories are available to human beings in America. That number has not changed significantly in like the last 30 or 40 years.
Wow.
And so there's something else going on. It's not that everybody's overeating all this tasty food. It's that
something's poisoning us.
Something is poisoning us.
Well, what is it, Doc? Why do you think we brought you in here?
That is the billion-dollar question. But so I do think our food supply is part of the poison. So it's not about the calories in the food, but it's about the toxins in the food. So we've got all of these chemicals. They're called food additives or preservatives or food enhancers or artificial sweeteners or artificial dyes or all sorts of things. And most people, if they read the food label of something that comes in a plastic bag, they don't know what the hell all that stuff is. If you don't know what the hell all that stuff is, guess what? It's probably really not good for you. And so I think that's one place to start. And there are some researchers who've done research on that, like looking at the effects of some of these food additives and chemicals specifically on mitochondria and more broadly on metabolism, and have found hundreds of them. So it's not a simple problem to solve. It's not like if we just get rid of high fructose corn syrup, that's going to solve our problem. It's not so simple. There are hundreds of these chemicals, and the FDA doesn't do a very good job of, well, the FDA doesn't even do anything with that, but the US Department of Agriculture doesn't do a very good job of screening this shit. They don't care.
Yeah.
They're just like, if it doesn't seem to cause cancer, it must be okay.